All right, let's talk about something every single Python programmer runs into, trying to manage dates and times. It seems like it should be easy, but it can get messy really fast. Well, today, we're going to untangle that whole mess and make it super simple.
Yeah, does this look familiar? I bet it does. If this slide hits a little too close to home, trust me, you are not alone. It's this universal headache for developers, right? Trying to teach a machine a concept that we humans just kind of get.
I mean, just think about it for a second. Calculating a project deadline that's 4 weeks from now, or trying to figure out the exact time difference from a log entry. And the classic, trying to calculate someone's age perfectly, even with all those pesky leap years. These are the kinds of small but super frustrating problems that can just stop your progress dead in its tracks.
But here is the really good news. Python comes with a fantastic built-in solution for all of this. I want you to think of it as your very own time-traveling toolkit, ready to solve all those problems we just talked about. So let's meet the Datetime module.
So what is it really? Well, the Datetime module is basically a collection of specialized classes. Each one is designed to handle dates and times in a way that's both incredibly powerful and, you'll see, surprisingly clear.
Inside this toolkit, you're going to find 4 main tools. We've got date for, well, just the date, time for just the time, Datetime to combine both of them, and then the real powerhouse for doing any kind of math, timedelta. Let's break them down.
All right, time to open up the toolkit and see how each one of these pieces really works. We'll start with the most basic one.
First up, we've got the date class, and it is beautifully simple. Its only job is to hold a calendar day. That's it. Year, month, and day. No hours, no minutes, nothing fancy, just the date.
And using it really couldn't be easier. Once you import it, you can grab today's date with a simple date.today, or you can create any date you want just by passing in the year, month, and day, just like we're doing here for a birthday.
And just look at how clean that output is. Python gives you this perfectly formatted date. Now, what's really useful is that you can easily pull out the individual parts like today.year or today.month anytime you just need one piece of that info. Okay, now let's look at the other side of the coin, the time class. You can think of this one as our stopwatch. It handles a specific time of day, hour, minute, second, and it's completely separate from any particular date. And you guessed it, creating a time object is just as simple. You just pass in the hour using a 24-hour format, along with the minute and second. So here we're setting a meeting time for 2:30 p.m. and 45 seconds.
The result is exactly what you'd expect. And just like with the date object, you can pull out individual parts. If you need to check if a meeting is in the morning, you just grab the dot hour. Simple as that.
Okay, so we have a tool for dates, and we have a tool for times. But what happens when you need both? Well, that's where the Datetime class comes in. It is the all-in-one object that combines both a date and a time into a single precise moment.
And honestly, probably the most common way you are ever going to use this is with datetime.now. This one command grabs the current date and the exact time, right down to the microsecond. It is perfect for creating a timestamp for pretty much any event in your application.
All right, so we know how to pinpoint a specific moment in time. But what about moving between them? This is where the real magic of this module comes into play, with a tool called timedelta.
Now this is the crucial thing to understand. A timedelta object doesn't represent a specific point in time. Nope. It represents a duration of time. Think 30 days or 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's the engine that actually lets us do math with dates.
And using it as a simple 2-step process. First, you just define the length of your time chunk, let's say 1 day. Then, you just add or subtract that duration from a date you already have. Let's see what that looks like. So, for example, we can take today's date, add a time delta of 1 day, and just like that, Python gives us tomorrow's date. See? It handles all the calendar logic for you. This is exactly how you can calculate future events or deadlines so easily.
Okay, theory is great, but let's see how this awesome toolkit solves those real-world problems we talked about at the very beginning. It's time to put some of this time magic to work.
Okay, look at how simple a complex problem becomes. To find someone's age, you just subtract their birth date from today's date. And the result? It's a timedelta object. Now, a quick way to get the years is to just take the total days and do an integer division by 365.
It's a pretty good approximation, though to be perfectly accurate, you'd have to handle leap years a bit more carefully, but that's a great topic to explore on your own.
All right, pop quiz time. We're starting with a date, January 15th. Then we're going to add a time delta of 30 days. So the question is, what month will the new date be in? I'll give you a second to think about it.
And the answer is month 2 and day 14. You see, the Datetime module is smart. It knows that January only has 31 days, so it automatically rolls over into February for you. This right here is exactly why this toolkit is so powerful. It handles all that tricky calendar logic without you having to think about it.
So let's do a quick recap. We've got our 4 core tools. We have date for the calendar day, we have time for the time on the clock, date time to pinpoint a specific moment combining both, and of course, the all-important time delta for measuring durations and doing all our calculations.
You know, mastering time in your code is one of those really fundamental skills that once you have it, you'll find yourself using it in almost every single project. It's a permanent and powerful new tool in your programming toolbox.
So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you've got the power to wrangle time in Python, what's the first problem that you're going to solve? Thanks for tuning into this explainer.